Hey everybody, it is Kendell Lenice, the remix coach, and you are watching. All right. Sorry, I hit it again. Hey everybody, welcome to More Than Just a Movie. I'm here with my boy, Dr. Leroy Mckenzie Jr., and we are breaking down classic Black films. All right, so that's what we do. This is season 2, and we've done some of your favorite movies. We have done everything that you could think of, and we still have some more to go because y'all know we can never run out of classic Black films. We've done Love and Basketball, Love Jones, Boomerang, Brown Sugar, New Jack City, Coming to America. We've done everything, and we still have more to do. So do yourself a favor and do us a favor and go to our playlist, More Than Just a Movie, where you can see all the movies we've done. And we're still not done. We highlighted Spike Lee at a time. We highlighted Eddie Murphy. And we're talking about the Wayans brothers today. We talked about them collectively last show, so check that out. But today we're talking about Big Brother Keenan and his movie. What's his movie? Low Down Dirty Shame. Him and Jada Pinkett Smith, and then you had Sally Richardson in there. You had Charles S. Dutton. That's what we are talking about today. So do us a favor and subscribe below. Subscribe, like, and share this video if you know somebody who is a fan of classic Black films. All right, before we get Leroy on here, you can see his head right there. We're going to talk about Keenan Ivory Wayans in this. So this movie came out November 23rd, 1994. Wow. And I remember it like it was yesterday. So it's talking about an ex-cop who has been ex-cop, which is Keenan Ivory Wayans. He's a detective, and he becomes embroiled in a web of danger while searching for a fortune and missing drug money. During the course of the investigation, he encounters various old connections, ultimately confronting the criminal responsible for Shame's explosion from the force. He must also deal with two women, Angela, beautiful old flame, which is Sally Richardson, and Peaches from Baltimore. No, Peaches, his energetic but annoying sidekick. So, of course, we got some trivia and all of that good stuff. But the box office, the budget for this movie was 10 million. Was it 10 million? $10 million. And it grossed 20, almost $30 million. Opening weekend, it made like almost $8 million. Worldwide, 29,392,418. So, clear million. 30 million. Yep, almost 30 million dollars. Low Down Dirty Shame. Hey Leroy.
I see. What's up, lady? I see we getting fancy with the intro and everything like that.
Hey, you know, I premiered my intro. I think last week I premiered my intro, and I did my intro myself. That's what I do.
Oh, really? Oh,
yes,
cool.
That's what I do. People don't know that other side of me. Well, you know, I build websites and I'll write bios for people. I'll do little, intros and voiceovers and stuff like that. I don't know if you knew that, but yeah, I definitely do that. God has blessed me in a lot of different ways, and I need him to bless me with that point.
Yeah, so, absolutely. Well, do you as a part of that, kind of side, do you do editing as well?
Editing for books or for what?
No, for like for video.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, yeah, I gotta talk to you about something after we get off here. So
okay. I'm starting to put it back. I'm starting to put it back out there because I do all mine all under Kenny Lynn Productions. I do all of that, and sometimes I'll do it for people, but I want to do it more because that's another love having talent, but income.
Exactly.
So God said, usually He gives you all of these gifts. People crying around, they don't have enough money. I've been that same one too, but it's like, utilize your gifts.
And see, people don't understand that and that's one thing hopefully that people learned throughout the pandemic
Mm-hmm.
was, about skill sets.
Yeah.
Having additional skill sets or having a
Yeah.
particular skill set, adding to what it is that you can do,
Yeah.
you increase your value by doing that. You increase those, like you just said, you can have different streams of income
Yeah.
based on what it is and if it's something that you haven't done, but you know that you can learn and that you
Yeah.
can begin to hone that skill,
Yeah.
absolutely you need to be doing that, man. Yeah,
That's what
absolutely.
I'm like.
I like
I'm
that.
sick of myself. I'm like, I got all this stuff and all this talent that God gave me, and then I'm like looking at my bank account. I'm like, wait, something ain't adding up. The math
Something it
ain't.
ain't the math ain't math, and you feel me? You know what I'm
I was
saying? I
like,
definitely feel you on that.
I need to get on the ball. And then it's so
Yeah.
funny because I create little things like that, for myself and whoever needs it. But then I
Hmm.
was looking at Royal Watkins, which is a comedian. He's been doing this for years, a writer and comedian. And he posts today, y'all trying to make money from everything but your gift. Focus on your passion and purpose, and the money will
Mm,
follow. And
absolutely.
just, I always think that when I read that today, I was like, confirmation, like Keenan said, message. Since we talk about Keenan, message.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. But what did you actually? Well, I don't know if you asked me anything, but yeah,
Yeah, Low Down
but
Dirty Shame.
definitely.
Like that, is that one of your favorites? I know it's one of mine. I
Um.
love Peaches.
And I'm thinking about movies that Keenan
Mm-hmm.
has produced,
Mm-hmm.
and that's probably the one that I know the most. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, the other one we talked about before we came on here, I'm gonna get you sucker. It was
Yeah.
funny,
I'm
but
gonna
I
get
thought,
you it's funny.
yeah, I thought Low Down Dirty Shame was better than I'm gonna get you sucker.
I agree.
You know,
I
you know.
agree.
So, but I'm gonna get you sucker was more of a comedy type. I won't say
Mm-hmm.
comedy drama. Is there such a thing as a comedy drama?
Yeah.
But
A dramedy,
then
they call it.
yeah, but Low Down Dirty Shame was more of a drama.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed. It had its funny
When they had
parts in it.
James Brown and he was dancing to get the dogs off him,
Right.
he had to sing.
Yeah. Yeah. That kind of stuff. That kind of subtle stuff. Yeah. But it wasn't like. Well, I guess
And
I'm gonna
Wayman,
get you. Yeah, I'm gonna
Wayman,
get you sucker was kind of like that too. So, but yeah, this was definitely one of my favorite Wayans. Just out of all of the movies that they've any of them have done,
mhm.
is probably the top of my list. I don't know if there's any other one that I think is better than this one. You
I
know,
agree.
you
And
know.
a lot of people don't know that Keenan, like even the movies that Marlon does and the scary
Hmm.
movies and all that, Keenan produces them. So even
Yeah,
when he's not on the screen, trust me, he's part of
he's there.
the movie. So I'm gonna start, of course. Today
Nothing
normally,
like
I go ahead.
I'm sorry, nothing like having your big brother to be able to support you and be there to be able to lean on and do stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, I
So,
always wanted a big brother, and since I'm the
really.
oldest, that could never happen. Except I used to have, around the way, the dudes be like, if anybody mess with you, and they be my fake big, because black people got fake cousins, fake big brothers, big sisters and aunties. So I had some big brothers that way,
Yeah.
big brother almighties, but I always wanted a big brother. All right, so this week I'm going to start the trivia first. Normally I filter it in.
Okay.
Um, in Peach's first scene of Shame's office, she's talking on the phone while watching a soap opera. The person on the other end of the phone she's talking to is Kim Wayans.
But did they say anything? They didn't
No,
say
you
anything.
know how she was like, girl, she was talking. You know how you
Yeah.
can get the voice back. But Kim Wayans disguised his voice because we know Kim Wayans she works at the boutique. We know that. And remember
Okay.
when he called, he was like, your caller number. And she ran out. That was a funny scene too.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
When
Yeah.
she was like, get out. She was
Kim stupid.
pushing the white folks out the door. But that was Kim Wayans on the other end of the phone. So everybody watch Low Down Dirty Shame again and see if you can tell Did it start raining? Oh, see if you can tell that was Kim Wayans. See if you could tell. Because now I want to go back. I done seen the movie 1,000 times, but she has all those different voices. So she probably
Mm-hmm.
was. We probably wouldn't have never known. All right. Okay, some little goofs and mistakes. When he calls Agent Rothmiller to let him know that he has located Angela, Shane doesn't identify himself to the telephonist. But when Rothwell gets on the telephone, he knows that it's Shane. But he could tell by the voice. So that might not have we might not have caught that goof.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you call and I can hear your voice, I'm going to say, Leroy, you ain't going to have to say who it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to watch it again to see how that happened, or anything like that. But yeah, that
Yeah.
didn't seem to be a big thing. So
Yeah. All right. So another trivia: the history of the love triangle between Shane, Angela, and Mendoza is never explained in a linear fashion. But it is known that Angela was with Mendoza first. It is likely that while he was a cop, Shane was assigned to somehow get close to Mendoza and did so through Angela falling in love with her in the process. Yeah, that's what I thought anyway. What did you think?
say that again.
That basically they never talked about how the love triangle went with Shane Mendoza. Remember the one that was supposed to have been dead,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
and they said it was probably we kind of can figure out that when he was a cop, he might have been asked to trail her or something, and they connected.
Well,
Um,
they did say no. They did say that because he was Shane and Angela were involved
yeah,
when Mendoza was doing whatever he was doing. And I don't know if Mendoza stole Angela from him. It was something that way.
yeah,
Something happened like that because when towards the end of the movie, Angela was like she was all about the money.
yeah,
So so that's I thought about that connection that way where
yeah,
there was something basically I think he stole his girl,
yeah.
and Mendoza stole Angela from him, and Shane tried to bring him down because of that and everything like that. And everything that was what I gathered from it, but I could be
And
wrong
me
about it.
too. No, but that's what I gathered. So I guess we didn't need the audience is smart. We didn't need to know. I guess they're saying that in the script they didn't do the breakdown. But if you
Hmm.
watch something and you can see the dynamics and then some of the script, you can still tell. So
Right.
audience are smart. Like they ain't got to feed us everything. We can kind of. It's good sometimes
Make
to figure it out.
right. And you just think about, and if you're watching the movie, you can tell that there was the thing with Angela
Yeah,
that had to do with Mendoza,
yeah,
because he followed her to get to Mendoza
yeah,
originally, I believe it was, and
yeah,
stuff like that. So she was connected to him, you know, for whatever reason. So you trace it back to him. If Angela didn't mean anything to him and he didn't have a relationship with her, they wouldn't have that wouldn't have been talked about. But that was talked about with Shane.
right,
Oh, I found her,
right,
because she ghosted Shane.
yeah.
I believe it was. She
Because she
ghosted
was
him.
about that money.
Right.
So
And
he was really in love with her.
right. Right. Exactly. Exactly.
So, I like to talk about who was going to play or who tried to play a role. So, you will probably never, I could probably give you 62 guesses, and you will probably never guess who was considered for the role of Peaches, who auditioned for the role.
Who auditioned for it?
Okay, think about if I give too many hints, you're going to guess. But
Gabrielle Union.
ain't new to no, this one ain't new to this. Think about in 94. She wasn't
Let's see.
new to
Okay.
this. She wasn't new to this. She is true to this. And she been on the screen since me and you were little.
Janet.
No. You in the neighborhood. So if I'm giving you the right hints, you're gonna get it. Because I know you. You're gonna get it.
If
Now, if I just said guess who, you would never guess. But if I give you hints, you're gonna get it.
if it wasn't Janet and you said since our childhood,
In the neighborhood of Janet. You know it. Think
No.
about our childhood and think about who it could be. Now,
Bernadette,
if I just said a random person, you would never guess. But these clues, you're gonna get it.
but that's what I'm saying.
Okay, in the neighborhood of Janet. This
Okay,
person, Janet, got a connection.
well, that's what I said Bernadette Stannis.
No, that's a good guess.
Okay.
No.
Well, you said in the neighborhood of she got a connection to Janet. That's the first one that comes to mind. Who else is connected to Janet
Well,
in
you want me to
'94?
tell you?
Yeah.
Kim Fields. So think about
How in
now.
the world? Wait a minute. Hold up. How you connect Kim Fields and Janet?
Okay, listen. Other than they're both Tauruses, right?
I
One
ain't knew
was
that.
on
Okay.
listen, one was on Facts of Life, one was on
Yes.
Different Strokes. The shows combined and they end up being on one of the same shows. Different Strokes, remember, Mrs. Garrett came from Different Strokes over to Facts of Life.
Did she? Okay. Okay.
She
I
was
didn't.
the
I didn't.
housekeeper. Yeah, she was the housekeeper on a Different Strokes.
Correct. Right.
Yeah,
Right. I
and she
remember that. I never made that connection though. I never made the connection between that and Facts of Life. That show came out of different Facts of Life came out of Different Strokes.
Well,
Okay.
she was on both of them, and I don't know if you remember the girls. They were both on each other's shows.
No.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
were. Yeah,
I don't remember that. Okay. Okay.
Cause Tootie and all of them, they were over there on Different Strokes. Mrs. Garrett was, because she would kind of bring it together, like on the first ones. You know how sometimes when the new show
Yeah, I think I vaguely
kind of
remember. I think
cross
I
them a
vaguely
little bit.
remember that. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
I
I don't
think
remember Janet though. I don't remember Janet being.
well, Janet
Yeah.
wasn't on Facts of Life, but Tootie used to be over at the Drummond house.
Okay. Okay. I got you. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I can't picture Kim Fields as Peaches, but I think that she could have done it.
Yeah, I think she could have pulled it off, but
I think so.
that role was made for Jada. I'm
It
sorry.
was. So Keenan, it was made for her. Gammy Jada's mom said that's one of her favorite roles that Jada did. But
Yeah.
do you remember when Keenan and Ivory Wayans had a talk show? And y'all can
Yeah.
YouTube this, because YouTube be quick to silence my videos if I put it on there. So they're getting real strict. So I can't even do that like we used to do it in season 1.
Yeah.
But Jada was on Keenan's late night talk show, and she was on there with her loud laugh and stuff. And he said, listen, this girl came in as Peaches. She brought the Baltimore. Like, we didn't have to do a lot because they were like, people were asking how she did the role. She had the nails, she had the this. He was like, this girl was already Peaches. And she laughing all loud, Baltimore. He said, she's from Baltimore, blah, 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 blah. And like that role, don't it seem like it was made for her?
It really was. You would have thought that Keenan wrote that role for Jada, and it's like, hey, there's only one person I have in mind for this role, and it's her. You know what I'm saying? So no, I mean, like you said, could Kim Fields have pulled it off? Maybe, but yeah, Jada walked in the door with that role. You know what I'm saying?
And she was like, remember, she was crying, the fake crying, and she was doing this. And then she said, Pocahontas, I could see through all that Maybelline. And then when she left, he was like, Dad. She was like, I seen this movie 2 times. And she said, I just tell her she left. She grown. She left. That's my part. She grown, and she came with that little dress on, and her hair was slicked down by the time she did. Remember, she put the sweatsuit on, and her hair was sticking up, she was flying through the stuff. But in real life, like if you look at Jada's page, she started doing these things maybe a couple months ago, where people will ask her like maybe what was going through her mind in a movie or how did she get the part. And she was talking, Keenan and them were trying to make her scared when she heard guns. But she couldn't do it because she's from Baltimore, so she's a little tough cookie. And they were trying to get her face to kind of be scared or do, but she said none of it was moving her. Then they shot a real gun or something like that, and she started flying. She started.
She can tell the difference. She can tell the difference. It was.
But they was saying this shit because she was like, that don't scare me, blah, 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 blah. And then when they end up doing something, and she said when she started running with that sweatsuit, I remember she was in the warehouse and she started running real fast. That was one of the scenes. And she talked about that. So, I mean, it's worth, I don't know if it's still on her Instagram page, but, you know, go back a few weeks. It's worth listening to the story. It's funny. Yeah, it's funny. Yeah. All right. So, more trivia. Though it's never spoken in the film, Shame's first name as written in the screenplay is Andre. It can be seen on the check he receives in the beginning of the film. Did you know that?
Yeah, I just read it this evening. Excuse me, but you had to figure he had a first name, and people got to understand too. It's not Shane, is it? It's not Shane. It's Shane. Shane.
No, right? It's Shames.
Is
no,
it Shane?
Yeah, it's Shane.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Because
it's not like 5 Heartbeats where you're saying Kang and King.
Right. Exactly.
All right. So, both Kim Wayans and Jada Pinkett, who both appears in the movie, start earlier in the careers in a different world. Kim Wayans, Keenan Ivory Wayans derived his character, I can see this, of Avery Brooks, who played Hawk in Spencer for Hire.
Loved that show.
Come on. I was just talking to my mom about Hawk. Remember he had the show after called A Man Named Hawk? Remember that?
Yeah. Folks, yeah, these young generation, they don't know nothing about Hawk. Hawk was Shaft after Shaft.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was Shaft after Shaft. Right. Correct. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was my show.
That was
that was another show that came out of a show as well. Because that show came out of, what was the show that he was on?
It was Spencer for Hire, and then he
Spencer
did a Man
Named Hawk. Right. Yep. Spencer for Hire. Yeah, Hawk came out of Spencer for Hire. And I got another one once we get into it too. One of the lieutenant, I'm sorry, the captain on here.
Yeah.
He came from what show?
Was it Sesame Street? Or
no.
Electric Company? You talking about the Spanish lieutenant?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you talking about Fish? Was it Fish? What was the No, what was the one? He was a cop, right?
Nope.
He was a cop. You not talking about that one?
Mm-mm.
Wasn't he on Fish?
And as soon as I say it, you gonna know it.
Cause what was that show? What is it?
Sanford and Son. Who?
Yes.
He was.
Yes, he was. Lord, yes, he was. Yes,
and out of Sanford and Son came Chico and the Man, I believe.
Yeah, I used to love Chico and the Man.
Yeah, Chico and the Man.
Yeah, I used to watch that. I remember that whole theme song. Chico and the Man. We telling our age now.
I know. Don't mind us, y'all. We just go back to our childhood with these shows.
Now, if y'all too young if y'all don't know what Chico and the Man is. And I forgot to tell y'all in the beginning, I haven't said this. This is the disclaimer. If you haven't seen these movies or heard these shows, then we're going to spoil it for you. We don't want to say it's a spoiler. We want to say that we're encouraging you to go watch it. How about that?
Exactly.
Shame on your mama, your daddy, and all of them if you don't know none of these shows.
You know, exactly.
But all right, so Jada Pinkett Smith and Charles Dutton, which is Rock, both from Baltimore. Y'all already know that. That's not the trivia on here, but they're both from Baltimore. But they appeared together a year before in Menace to Society, which came out in 1993. So they were together. Also, Peaches and Shame have a debate on who would win in a fight between Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali. Jada Pinkett Smith's husband, Will, who would later play Muhammad Ali, and she played his wife. But remember, she was like, Tyson, her voice, she was so funny in this movie to me. Like, she was crazy. But I will say, you remember the guy, and I don't even need to look at the trivia for this. So remember her roommate, Wayman, right? He was like the
That was
comedian.
the funniest part.
He was, but check this out though. He was the comedian Amazing Grace. He died before the movie even premiered.
Really?
Before it came out in the movie. So they filmed the movies, and he never even saw himself
Oh
on
wow.
the screen. Ain't that deep? Because I remember when it came
Oh
out,
wow.
remember they were like, the guy, because he was in all the trailers, and they was like, he died. And then he was this comedian Amazing Grace who was doing the kind of trans thing, back then, but he never even seen himself on the big first movie. Never seen it.
Wow. I never knew that. Okay, that's sad.
And he was funny too. Shane, remember he was making them sausages.
No, that ain't the one when he was like, you ain't say that was you, and you
Health
was all hugged up, and you was all hugged up on me last night.
The reenactment at the health club. He was like, Shane. When Shane was like, I'll tell him I'm lying, he was like, no, you ain't. Remember they was like, home record.
Yeah.
But I love when Jada was telling him, he's like, because he had that little sweater on, he had his little receding hairline. But when they started playing Shame, and by the way, I love Janae's remake of Evelyn Champagne King's Shame.
Yes.
I used to love the first one, but in that movie, something about the little extra bass that they put in it was Janae singing it. So he took that dirty sweater off. They played that Shame, and he got real
up.
Avery Brooks on him.
The long black leather coat. Yes, sir.
Oh, Shame. Oh, baby.
But Janae wasn't the original ones. Who did the original?
King.
That was her. Why was I thinking it was a group?
No, it was Evelyn Champagne King. Burning, keep my home.
Yeah.
Yearning. No, that was Evelyn Champagne King, honey. I used to love me some Evelyn Champagne
That
King.
sound like a dude that was singing that though.
No. That was Evelyn.
I gotta go back and listen to that because I'm not. Yeah, I don't know.
It's Evelyn Champagne King. You don't know that? Like, she was my girl.
Yeah.
That's Evelyn Champagne King. Oh, my darling. That was but she still performs that to this day. And she still, at her age, has the high energy, and she sounds just like the record even today.
Does she? Yeah.
And she's like very energetic. And she was one that got her. I got to talk about Evelyn Champagne King for a minute. Maybe I'll do her on my show, Underrated. But she got her start by she was a child, and her mother was a janitor at a record, a radio station. And she brought her there one time. She was like 14 years old, something like that. And she was just singing and cleaning. So how like, what a story that is. Like, it's like, duh, she was in a radio station like the Dreams made. She was in a radio station. Someone heard her singing, like, hey, listen to that voice. And she started cutting her first records at 14 and 15 years old.
Yeah. Wow.
That's like, everybody want to stumble on a career like that.
Like that, right?
All right. So Jada Pinkett Smith played in the movie Scream 2 in 1997, while Keenan Ivory Wayans directed Scary Movie in 2000. Jada's death scene in Scream in 1997 got spoofed in Scary Movie in 2000. So, what else did I want to say? Oh, they talked about the one that I told you, actor Corin Anthony Hawkins' last movie due to his death the same year that it came out. But yeah, he didn't even get a chance to see that movie. All right. So what you think? One of my other favorite scenes, and tell me if you love this scene, when Jada dressed like he said, you look like Salt and Pepper, when she had that red leather on, when she went to do her investigation. And she took Shane's money, and she went to
the post office. Well, no, she was shopping.
Oh, no, that was the other one, the post office.
Yeah. Hi. Yo, my man.
He was like, she feeling you. She feeling you,
Ah.
dog. What he say? She feeling you, dog. And he put that. He had that Jerry curl and that gold tooth like ting.
That was funny. He got her back. I was like,
So let's talk about
yeah.
the dynamics of the old school love and the new school. So it already from the movie, Jada becomes Peaches becomes his assistant because she was like a juvenile delinquent and he kind of
Mhm.
took her under her wing and she was a child. But then she was like, I'm all grown now. He was like, I see that, Peaches. And she always had a crush on him. Now that they're both grown, she's like, hey, could it be something, even though she still kind of looked like a child, and she wanted to know if he ever wondered when she got grown because she had been grown for a minute. So what do you think of that dynamic? And then you thinking you got a chance, and here come old flame coming, and you remember her cologne, and Jada's like, you got dressed up for her, but I gotta see you every day looking like this.
Well, but see, the thing was, Shane didn't see her as
Mm-hmm.
somebody that he was romantically interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, he saw her as he virtually pretty much saw her as a little sister.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you ain't trying to impress your little sister. You know what I'm saying? It's just,
Yeah.
yeah, I come how I come dressed up with it. But since she was the one that had feelings
Mm-hmm.
for him, you know, she felt like, well, you should have been doing more. He's like, well, no, because I'm not feeling you like that. Now, had he felt like that about her, that might have been a different story,
Mm-hmm.
as far as the way that he was dressing and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
I think also he knew the type of woman that that Angela was. He knew that she was materialistic, she was
Like a
shallow, you know. Um, so he had to present himself, in a certain way. Not that you wanna, you got to impress yourself, to me, not that you got to impress yourself. Yeah, we do have to impress it. We try to impress the people that we care about, and because we want them to notice us. That's
mm-hmm.
true.
Mm-hmm.
I get that, and that was probably what Shane's character was trying to do, was to impress her, say, look what you, pretty much, look what look what you left, you know
Mm-hmm.
you can be sorry that you know how folks do. They
Mhm.
want to make you
Yeah, because you can't see
sorry that
somebody
you
you
left.
ain't seen in 30 years looking all raggedy, so they could be like, "That's why I left you, and that's why I don't miss you."
Right, you know what I'm saying? But
He was like, "I'm
if
gonna
they're
come
doing well, yeah. If they're doing well, they dressing good, they smell good. You be like, oh, okay,
back."
okay, okay.
Mhm,
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what he was doing. And I think it was just since Peaches had the feelings
mhm,
for Shane, he wasn't looking at her in that way, and that's why he dressed the way that he dressed around her, and
mhm,
I guess he felt like being a detective and his own boss or whatever. He didn't necessarily have to
mhm.
dress dress up or whatever, because he wasn't
Yeah,
trying to impress anybody,
yeah,
you know and
and
and his
sad.
and the business that he's in, he's chasing people, so he's not worried about being dressed down like he was, when he got all dressed up with the long black coat, with the
Mhm.
with the with the the suited down look or whatever and
Little
everything like that.
goatee.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to worry about that. I got to chase somebody down. I'm gonna chase somebody down, and I'm wearing some hard bottoms. You know what I'm saying?
Slippery Earl.
Yeah,
That was
so.
real Keenan when he had let his hair grow in the hairline. Then he got, the new
Yeah, I
Keenan.
see why he stayed the bald head.
Right, because
You
you
just
remember
gotta
the
let it
old
go.
Keenan and how his hairline was really. And remember, he had like the little half afro. Like
Mm-hmm.
he took like 10
Right.
years off of himself when he cut his hair bald,
Yep. Yep.
like
And
instantly.
I promised myself, if my hairline would to ever start receding, it was gone.
Yeah,
And I think, but before I was 40, I I started. I went to the bald head. I was like, nope, not gonna do it. Here's a funny story though. When I decided to go bald headed, right? I use clippers. I use clippers to shave my head.
Mhm.
Well, when I decided to do it, when I did it halfway through, try to do my bald head, my clippers broke.
Oh my God. What, you had a big patch? You had a
I no, it was oh shoot.
You still there?
I hit I hit the wrong button, but no, it was like half of it was hit, half of it was half my hair was cut, the other half wasn't. I did not. And I did it on a Saturday, right?
Oh.
I lied to you not, Kendall. I did not go to church the next day.
I
I
bet
did not. I did not go to church. I was like, I'm not going to.
you ain't put no hat on. You ain't put no church hat on.
I
No,
didn't put no hat, no
Lord.
nothing, because I'd have had to take it off when I got in the building. I was like,
Let me have been sitting behind you when you took your hat off. I'd have been like, oh, something must be wrong with him.
like one of the mothers of the church. Bless his heart. Bless
Bless
his
his heart.
heart.
My grandmother would say that all the time. Bless his heart. I still say that. It's funny. Bless his heart. Look, at least he at the service. At least he here. My God, at least he came.
Listen,
That
listen.
young man know what's important.
The Lord did say, "Come as you are."
You are half cut, half baked.
Yep, but it was the funny. I couldn't do nothing but laugh at myself though. I
That
was
is
just like, "You
funny.
gotta be kidding me, man!"
That
I
is
was
But
like,
that kind of stuff be happening all the time. You'd be like, come on, like at this time, like, come on. Uh, uh, uh. All right. So with writing, Leroy is a writer. I'm a writer, and I'm actually in the process. This is the first time everything comes out when I be talking to Leroy. I'm in the process of writing my second novel. And when you're writing a novel or when you're writing anything, continuity is so important because you can't say somebody is 40 here and then later on in the book you say she 50. Like you got to be able to say her hair. Well, hair can change colors. You could say her eyes were this color, but then you say this color, or then you call a guy. So continuity is very important. So it's fun when you watch a movie more than once and see continuity mistakes. So
yeah,
this
because
continuity, because it
he,
costs too much to be refixing it.
he can't be 6'5" in one scene and then 5'5" in another one. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like the car was like on Boomerang when and we talked about this when we reviewed Boomerang, like when Robin Givens and Eddie Murphy were in the bed. She had on red nail polish when she went to go hug him, and then she had on white in the same scene, like they did a retake. I was like, and I'm gonna notice some nail polish. I was like, yeah, they made a mistake. Now when y'all see Boomerang, look, when she went in, I think it was before she put the money on a nightstand.
Okay.
On Boomerang, and they were in the bed and they was getting it in, doing what they do, what grown folks do. And she put the one hand and it was red nail polish, and then they probably did a retake and they forgot to line up the nail polish and it was white. All right, so excuse me, in this movie, when Shane points to his gun, this was a continuity mistake. When Shane points his gun to Lewis when they are under the skinhead meeting, that was funny. In the meeting place, the camera angle from the front shows the gun resting on his forehead, but the camera angle from the rear shows that it was resting on the side of his head, and it happened twice in the scene. So they put the gun in the front, then they put it in the back, but they messed up. Like they showed a different angle, so they probably forgot when they did. Because sometimes when you're making movies, they have to. It's like a lot of takes because they want to get the long shot, the close shot, the side shot, this side shot, and
Yeah.
somebody dropped the ball and didn't put the gun where it was before. So another continuity mistake in the scene where Shane and Angela are escaping in the Jeep, which was funny when they tied the people up and took the wigs. Remember, they tied the people up in the elevator. Remember. So
Mm-hmm.
before that, so after that, Shane drives off over the top of the cab. When he backs up on the ramp, the cab for the first time, it's square. Let me see. In the next, so The same thing. So squarely in he rams in the cab squarely in the back bumper. But in the next shot, when he rams the cab again to push it over the hill, the cab turns sideways and he hits the door. So the same thing. They hit the back on one, and then when they showed it again,
God.
they hit the side. All right, here's one with Peaches. So Shane gives Peaches a picture of Angela, and you see the Peaches is holding the picture, looking at it with her hand backwards. The camera angle changes, and she's now holding the picture with her hand facing forward. So this is so those are kind of, we probably wouldn't always see those, but now
Right.
that we know those, it's kind of fun to watch and be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's a mistake. So another one, when the cab lands at the drive-through of the burger place, you can see that the roof of the cab does not show the same damage from the previous scene where Shane ran over it. So a lot of it is that probably they might notice it, but it probably costs too much money because the film is expensive. So to
Right.
do the whole
Right.
scene over, they probably like, the heck with it.
Yeah, we'll just cut it up and make it do what it do.
Right.
Yeah, and like you
Because
said, the things that you just mentioned, I don't think the average person is in the movie theater. You're not gonna pay attention to that or see, even notice it. You know what I mean?
Because like
You
on
know,
this one, after Sonny leaves, Sonny is Charles Dutton. Shane is sitting on the desk talking to Peaches with the basketball under his arm. The camera angle changes and then the basketball disappears. I gotta watch it tonight. I haven't seen it in a long time. So,
yeah.
what's one of your favorite scenes in this movie?
Nah, my favorite one, I think the funniest one is when Shane gets in the bed with, well, what you say, what's this, with
Wayman.
Raymond, yeah, with Raymond, but he thinks that it's a female because Peaches told him that she had a roommate, and he assumed that it was a female.
Right, right, right.
So he's hugged up all on this roommate because
And the hair.
Peaches told him that he could sleep in her room, his
No,
roommate,
but she
and
said
I don't even know.
girlfriend. She said girlfriend won't be home. Remember,
Right, right.
girlfriend
He
won't
didn't
be
say the
home.
name. Right, he didn't say the name. So Raymond comes in, I guess late. And no, yeah, and he's Shane is already asleep.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, did I get it right? Yeah, because yeah, he came in. Raymond came in late. Peaches, I mean, he was asleep, and so he's hugged up all on him, and and Shane is thinking that it's a female. So the next morning, Raymond is cooking breakfast, and and it's funny because I know Jada was probably laughing for real because she had the paper up and
Yeah,
she had, and you can hear she was laughing.
right. She was like, okay.
She was probably laughing for real because that was a funny scene. I'd have had to been laughing too.
It was one of my favorite scenes too is with Wayman when remember he told her to get her a perm. He was like, get the mile, because last time you got Supergirl, that man was all sticking out. And how he said it. I just remember, I think it was in one of the trailers, and that was just funny to me. It was
Yeah,
also stupid too with when they said the dogs respond to James Brown
yeah,
song, and they
right.
were him, Jada, and Wayman were on the at the table, and he was reading it. And it's funny because you never know what kind of senseless information that you hear throughout the day will help you.
Absolutely.
Will help you in that. And
Yeah,
it's just, so what you think about the shadiness of Sonny? He was Shane's friend, but then for a quarter, he set Shane up again, and he
but
trusted.
that's unfortunately that's what some friends do. Shoot, I hate to go religious on folks,
Up.
but was it Peter? No, who was it? Was it Peter?
Oh,
Yeah,
you talking about Bible?
yeah. Peter sold Jesus out for 30 pieces of silver. I tell you who he is. He gonna be the one that I kiss on his cheek. That's who y'all. That's how y'all know who it is. So
It's really lying because people been stabbing people behind their back since the biblical times.
I'm telling you,
Put some
people like
silver.
and like my
Keep it
pastor say,
shady. Talk about I'm gonna
like
kiss him.
my pastor say, I don't know what Bible y'all be reading, but the Bible is nothing more than a big old drama story.
It is. It
It's a
really
big drama story. It has any kind of drama you want. It got the it
sex,
has
love,
the
betrayal.
family deceit because Cain killed Abel. It has jealousy. Cain was jealous of Abel because of what God accepted from him versus that. Esau stole. I mean, yeah, Esau stole the birthright from Jacob, or Jacob stole the birthright from Esau, his brother. Went
Mhm,
in and stole it. So it's got all kinds of drama up in there.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
It's true.
So yeah,
And
that's
then you got sex, you got love,
right.
lust. It's like a movie. You got like you
It
said,
is.
you got look, you got a little some harlots and some hoes in there. You got the
Absolutely.
upset.
It's
You
got
got
all of it. It got a little bit of everything. People talk about, well, the Bible doesn't say talk about sex. Have y'all read the Song of Solomon?
I knew you was gonna say that. I knew you was gonna say that.
Have y'all read the her
I knew
for
you
the
was gonna
Song of
say that.
Solomon? So whatever. So, but so yeah. So I mean, you know, Roth Miller, Charles Dutton's Sonny, his character, him being the backstabber of for some money.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Shane is supposed to be his boy. Shoot,
Mm-hmm.
we can tell you. I mean, that's not just that's that's art imitating life because there are real life instances that has happened to where people
Mm-hmm.
have shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Have you watched do you watch any of the series the Food That Built America?
No.
Yeah, you got to watch it. It's on the History Channel,
You
but
said the
they do
food?
these. Yeah, the Food That Built America. What it is it chronicles those the big companies or corporations that we know about: McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, all of them, any of them. Debbie's, Little Debbie's,
Mm-hmm.
Famous Amos,
Mm-hmm.
any of them that you can think about. Desserts, Dunkin' Donuts, all of them that you can Subway, all of them. But they do documentaries on how they became these businesses and
Oh, I'm gonna watch that.
the
I love
entrepreneurs, yeah, the
documentaries.
entrepreneurs that started them, right? But in some of those stories, you got backstabbing, deceit. Shoot, look at the
Oh, the
McDonald's story.
McDonald's one. I saw that one on Netflix that a couple years ago. Oh,
What's
that was
that?
really shady. The McDonald's story. Like
Oh
they had
yeah,
their
yeah,
own that one on Netflix.
the Mc,
Oh yeah.
yeah, the founder. It's called
Yes.
the founder. Yeah,
Yeah.
but even the way that Ray Kroc went about stealing the McDonald's name from the very men
That
whose
was
name it
shady.
was.
Woo!
They couldn't even they couldn't even use their own
Woo!
name. I was
That's
like, Darwin, really?
that's shady.
You know,
That's shady.
yeah. So, it's a lot
On the
of
on their
and
blood
this is
sweat
somebody that
too.
yeah, he befriended these men and then
Mm,
he took advantage of them,
mm, mm,
you
mm.
know.
Yep.
And I get it, and honestly, McDonald's wouldn't be what it is today if it weren't for Ray Kroc. I give him that. But
Woo!
you can't be underhanded about it. And certainly the McDonald's family deserves money. I don't think they get anything off of
No, they don't.
McDonald's then.
They don't
Yeah,
because he changed everything around and he did a sideways slick deal where he
correct.
like incorporated it like the management
Right.
side of it, like he went under,
Correct.
and that was so that right there was whoo.
Well, the way that he did it, and it wasn't just him. It was actually the attorney that
Yeah,
peeped into
that told him to
how
do
he
it.
could do what
Yep,
he was doing. He was
yep,
like, you're not in the burger business.
yep,
You're in the real estate business.
yep. That was right
Changed it
there. That
changed the
was
game.
shiesty stuff.
Yeah.
And I felt so bad for the
Yeah.
men because they was like little good men that just wanted a little, piece of the pie. They just
They
loved what they were
they were
doing.
content.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were content.
Greed,
They were
greed is
content
my
with being just having that one restaurant, and because they had been hurt before, they had had a bad business deal before, with another business partner, and that was why they were hesitant about doing things. You
Mm-hmm.
know, so you
Mm-hmm.
know, but him and his partner, that the attorney, they found a way to finagle and get the business from the McDonald's brothers, and it is what it is. But I mean, the McDonald's brothers to me created fast food. You know,
Yeah.
that was that the
Yeah.
process of fast food, that
Yeah.
system of fast food, that
Yeah.
was them.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
even when they
so
tried to do, and guys, if you haven't seen that, you definitely got to watch The Founder on Netflix. But even how cutting costs is with the cutting costs with the milkshakes. Remember what they did with
yep.
that and
Mhm.
trying to do.
Mhm.
But the model of McDonald's, I love that model though. Like
Yeah.
simplifying the menu, like have burgers, fries, and shake. To me, if that
Yep.
was done right, that could go a long way because you're gonna get the best shake and you're gonna get the best burger and fries back then.
Yeah. You're just not going. The ice cream machine just not going to work though. But
Woo!
but
That's
but
nowhere. Every city
nowhere. I don't care
across
what McDonald's you go to. The ice cream machine is not working. The Sunday
and
machine is
now
not
the
working.
smoothie machine will be broke. Be broken.
But I was thinking about this the other day, and then we'll get back to. I'm sorry, we kind of diverted. But that that fries fries, soda, and a burger. That's the first bundle that I can think of.
Yup.
The
That first
first
value
bundle. When we think about what we do today, as far as
meal.
bundling stuff, that's the first bundle.
Yep. It's true. Yeah.
Fries, fries, soda, and a sandwich.
Yep.
First
Yep.
bundle.
Yep. And now it's a
I was
number
like,
2. You want a number 4. You want a number 16. You keep going on it. People be standing staring at the McDonald menus to the left and the right. Be like, it's the same thing. What you
like
want?
Sinbad said, he
Right.
said
You
McDonald's done
like,
had the same menu for
right.
300 years.
You
It
want?
ain't changed.
We're gonna get off McDonald's, but when I was in junior high school, you couldn't tell me nothing about that quarter pounder with cheese and fries and the orange high C. What? That was my meal when I was like in 7th, 8th grade.
That was your
Quarter
go-to, huh?
cheese, fries, and a high C. That high C still is popping. That high C is still on point. They brought it back. People complained so
Really?
much.
Okay.
They changed it to like Fanta orange, and people was like, we
Oh, okay.
didn't want that. They bought the high C orange back like a year or two ago
Oh, okay. Okay.
because it was
Okay.
gone for years. But that was mine. And then, sometimes a Big Mac, but that quarter pounder with cheese, man. What? All right. Back to Low Down Dirty Shame. All right. So let's do some quotes. So Peach's last name was Jordan. Most people don't know. Like
Yeah,
they
I didn't realize that. Yeah, it was just
right.
peaches.
Peaches Jordan. I didn't know that. So when she said, "Oh, you want a box? Is that what it is? You want some of this? You know what?
Yeah.
There ain't nothing nothing to do.
Between us, but and opportunity, space and
Right.
opportunity,
You
baby.
know what I'm saying? All we do is push this side right here. Remember, she pushed that chair. There ain't nothing but space and opportunity. You know what I'm saying? You want some of this? Remember, she did. And she's like, oh, you're like a puppy. Remember, she was like, cute little puppy. I was like, no, she didn't punk her. But then let's say Peaches and Shane. You remember when we first met? Yeah, I busted you for stuffing CDs in your underwear. Well, whatever. I liked you and I was only 16 and I knew it wouldn't work. Now I'm 22 going on 23. Can't you see how much I've grown? You mean you ain't wearing no trainer no more?
But here's how he got it though. When she was walking up the
On
steps,
the stairs and
he
she was
he,
like,
he said, I see something has grown on you.
and she walked up
and
and this is
and then she started switching and she went where she walked up the rest of the steps.
yeah. And she did that on a different world too. If you go back, because they're
Really?
both
Okay.
favorite shows. And I remember when Dorian liked her and he was the church boy who was the virgin. And I remember she went up the stairs with her little butt in them jeans. And it reminded me of that when I seen her do that. And
Really?
he was like, he did. He said, I seen something has grown. So what about when Peaches was like, this is Fremmy? And he was like, Fremme, this is Fremmy with an I, not an E. Remember that? That's when she had that salt and pepper outfit on. Oh man. So then, all right, so I'm gonna do another peaches. Shane might be soft on you, but I can see through all that Maybelline. I know you ain't nothing but a gold digging stank trying to get a man for everything he's got. But I'm gonna tell you this: you heard Shane again. Better watch your back. Remember?
It's always it's always the smallest woman that
Chihuahua.
got to get pop off at the mouth. Cause my best friend,
The
I
Chihuahua.
swear, she's like an inch or two shorter than me, right? She's 5'2", but you better not mess with her. You better not. She for sure. She don't care who it is. She don't care if you 6'9". She don't, she gonna make sure she'll take you out because
Oh man. But that's the little chihuahuas. They be like them little dogs. But
uh
this was fun. So then of course what happens at the end, you want to talk about that? So Jada ends up Peaches has his back. You want to talk about what happens in the mall?
with
What
the elevator. Yep, he said, and I like that scene where he's coming down the elevator, or is she coming down?
she's coming down.
She's coming down. He's going up, and he's like, "Peaches, I hope you can, do what you say you could do, whatever." And he has the gun on the thing for her to be able to grab it. And sure enough, she Jada handled her business. Peaches handled her business. Not only with that, but then when her and Angela get into the fight scene, she was like, "I
Oh
told you, if you mess with Shane, you better watch your back." So they wind up they wind up in a fight. But here's the part that I'll mention real quick. When she was trying to get away, when they caught her, when they captured Peaches, right?
yeah. Mhm.
And she's getting away, and she's trying to get away from Charles S. Dutton, and she catches him, and she was like, "You said that that you wasn't gonna do nothing to me."
And he got caught slipping. He got caught slipping. She got caught slipping. But
Yeah,
and then of course she, she did dipped and dodged, but she looked like a little boy with that sweatsuit on. She looked so little with that sweatsuit
put
on.
the sweatsuit on, yeah, and the short hair, and the short hair that she had. I think that's what it was.
And
It
she's
was
so
the
teeny.
short hair.
She's so
Yeah,
teeny.
cause she's really is she 5'2"? Is she?
Somewhere around there, she's really
Yeah,
teeny. Her mom
yeah,
is.
she's really small. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm talking, yeah, she's really, and she can't weigh more than 130 pounds. She
Mm-mm.
can't.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
She's
so
small.
so she's yeah, so I mean, Jada's really a really small, really small woman,
Mm-hmm.
and everything. So that role, like we said, that role was her all the way. Just everything
And she
about
was
it was
sliding under the stuff. Remember how she was
right.
sliding with that sweat?
Yeah. So
And
yeah,
that's how Jada likes to dress. She's been, known to say like that's her most comfortable, like a sweatsuit, low key,
hey,
rolling
and I
with it.
like that. Yeah,
I
and I
like that
think that's
too.
cool.
I like that
Yeah,
too. I like that
yeah,
too. Like I don't have I wouldn't have no problems wearing jeans and a t-shirt every day. But I don't,
yep,
you know what I'm saying? Or like a nice sweatsuit. I don't mind doing that and get dressed up when when you want to get dressed
yeah,
up. If I want to get dressed up, then I could do it all. But I love me a pair of jeans and a t-shirt sometimes.
yeah,
It's just,
yeah.
so I get it. So some of you out there, what are some of your go-to outfits? Like what do you feel the most comfortable in? If you had to wear it for a week straight, what kind of clothes would you feel the most comfortable in? What about you, Leroy?
Nah, I'm like you. Give me a pair of jeans, some short. Which if I'm wearing some warm shorts, I like. Don't get me wrong. I got a wardrobe, and I
I
and I
know
really
you
like.
do.
I like to dress up and everything like that. But to be comfortable, yeah, man. I'm sweats too. Throwing
Yeah.
some sweats to go here, go there, whatever. Bump that trying to get dressed up. Well, especially I guess the pandemic has kind of spoiled me too. It's like I'll be like on the Zoom from my waist down. I got the shorts on, but the neck up. I'm suited up.
And got on fuzzy
Uh,
slippers. It got
You
on
know what I'm saying? I'm
purpose.
suited down. I'm suited down from the neck to the waist, baby.
Man, look, you know Leroy was grown because Leroy, you just showed everybody that you were grown. You said you ain't say I got the outfits, I got the clothes. Leroy said I got the wardrobe. Like, don't
Wardrobe.
play with me. I
And
got the
I
wardrobe.
ain't no shame in it. I took the I worked in retail. I worked for Men's Warehouse and I
Okay, and
worked for
you work at
K
K.
and G. And it ain't K and G. No, I worked for Men's Warehouse
Oh,
back.
okay.
That was the first one when I first
Oh,
started.
wow.
I started in retail. And I did it specifically because I wanted to build my wardrobe
I
because I
know that's
liked to dress. I was working in corporate America, so I needed outfits. So my part-time job was working for Men's Warehouse. I built my wardrobe on Men's Warehouse and K&G. I
I know
lied to you not. And K&G, just to give you an idea, when I worked for K&G, I mean I'm not K&G, Men's Warehouse. Men's Warehouse was the only company, one of the very few companies that paid you weekly,
Did you
right?
work at one in Pikesville, Maryland? The
No,
rest
I worked at the one out in Towson Town Center. When
oh,
it was
okay.
out in Towson, I worked in the mall. It was in the mall, Towson Town Center. Um, but we got paid weekly. We got paid weekly, and they had it where you could buy stuff and have it taken out of your paycheck. You could buy up to a certain amount, and it will be deducted out of your paycheck each
Paycheck
week.
was like $5 by the time you got it back.
Right. So, I was basically working for
Leroy
my
said, I'm
wardrobe.
working
I was,
for 12.
I was, I was working for my wardrobe, you know what I'm saying? But,
That's a good deal though.
right. So, so I was able to have it taken out of my paycheck, and everything like that. It was cool. When I started working for K&G, some years later, they didn't take it out of your paycheck because Men's Warehouse bought K&G.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so they were companies later, but Kane when I worked at K&G, we couldn't have it taken out of our paycheck, but I was buying suits, shirts, ties here and there when I could to be able to build up my wardrobe. I got over I got over I got at least 30, 40 suits
I believe it.
total.
I
And then
believe
I
it.
have,
I
I
seen
got
it.
sport
I
coats
seen
and
six,
slacks
7 of
as
them.
well. Yeah, so hey, having the wardrobe, you know, um, because like I said, I like to dress, and I knew that I mean, even as an entrepreneur now, I still have now that stuff is opening back up. I mean, even before then, I would still have to have meetings that I would go to
Yeah,
and be in offices and stuff like that, and I still have a couple of shows where I do get dressed up, and that's what I
yeah,
do.
yeah.
So I've always liked the one, but what I'm most comfortable in, yeah, give me some shorts or sweatpants any day. Any
See there?
day. I'm good.
And like Shane, like we're gonna circle that right back around to
Yep,
Shane.
exactly.
Shane had his sweater, his old man sweater that looked so comfortable to me. And when it
Yep.
first started, he had a sweater. Only thing he was unshaven and all that,
Right.
but he had his
Right.
little comfortable sweater on and he was doing it. But when it was time to get down to the get down, he shaved that head. He had on his patent leather shoes, tie up shoes. He
Yep.
was straight. He was right. He was looking good. So it's and then it totally changed the game. Then Jada Peaches was looking like okay. But the last trivia before we end. So remember, Leroy and I are talking. We were talking about the mall. Remember, the mall was dark, and they were doing the last scenes in the mall. Well, that was a real mall. The final scene
Mhm.
was shot in a closed 5-level shopping mall in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
they were able to do that. So all of that, of course, we know we could tell it's a real mall, but I never knew it was
Where
there.
it
So
was the
hopefully,
location.
you watch, yeah, when you watch more than just a movie, you learn about your favorite movies and you see Leroy and I's take on the movie. But most people are not Googling or researching the movie. So hopefully, we can do that for you, right, Leroy?
Exactly. Give you a little bit more information than just the movie. As we say, it's more than just the movie. It is about our take on the movie, but also giving you just some little information, tidbits, and stuff like that you might know. Just like you talk about who was up for the roles. No, who'd ever thought that who'd you say for Pink? Yeah, oh yeah, Kim Fields auditioned for Peaches. You
I
know what
wouldn't
I'm
even
saying?
think that she would want to.
Yeah, yeah. You'd have thought that wouldn't even have been on her radar. You know what I'm
But
saying?
her on the Upshaw, she get a little raw on there, so I kind of see it a
Yeah,
little
but
bit, but it's not
nah.
Jada.
Yeah,
That was
it's
her
not.
role,
Yeah, it ain't that. Yeah, that wasn't. That ain't nowhere near Peaches.
right?
So, but yeah, but that definitely. I truly believe that role was written for Jada. For Jada.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely,
It was one
definitely.
of my favorites. And when her mom, Gammy, said, that's my favorite, it goes down in Black history. That's like a classic Black film. Like if you know, you know. If you love it, you love it. And I think everybody loved her in that film. We all
Yeah.
seen a Peaches up close. Because we got peaches, we got pumpkins, not pumpkins, we got pumpkins and
Yep.
peaches. We got all the fruits around the way, right?
Of course. That's funny.
All
All the
right,
fruit.
all the fruits. All right, Leroy, what should they do as we end this show?
Y'all got to hit that notification bell, the like, subscribe, and comment. We want you to comment. But like we said, how much time we got left?
To my
Put in
birthday,
the
June 17th. We need like
You got till
400
June
something.
6th, June 16th, y'all. We are going to get Miss Kendell to how many subscribers?
At least 1,000. We're
To a
like at
thousand subscribers. So we got work to do, y'all. So we need y'all hit that subscribe button, share it, share it, share it. Have somebody else subscribe. It don't take much. It ain't don't cost you nothing. What's that song? Ain't that song Ashford Simpson said? Don't cost you nothing. Don't cost you nothing. But a like, a share, a comment, and a subscription. That's it. That's
I
all it
need
costs.
420.
There we go. We can do this, y'all. 420. We trying to get to 420, y'all. We can do that by next week. Just share.
Ooh, that
But
Leroy.
420 subscribers, y'all. That's all. That's we want to get her to. We don't just want to get to 1,000. We want to blow 1,000 out the water right now. So let's blow her. That's her. That's the birthday gift that y'all can give Miss Kendall is a subscription. Get her over 1,000 subscribers. That would make her birthday more
Yes,
than the other gifts. I promise you it will.
yes, it
That'll
would. It's
be
gifted. Keep
nothing more, nothing greater than for her to come on her birthday and say she has over 1,000 subscribers. I'm just saying.
Boy, I be crying on my birthday. I be
Yeah.
crying on my 51st birthday. Because I've had my page, honestly, y'all, I've had my YouTube channel since 2006, before all the YouTube explosion started. And I would put little by little, just because it wasn't really popping like that.
Right.
YouTube, I was
Right.
putting it on, it was
Right.
very complicated to upload videos and all that when it started. Now, fast forward to 2022, like I started really going hard maybe about 6 years ago, 7 years ago, but I wasn't promoting. And that's why
Mhm.
I don't have it. Like I would just put stuff up, just dumb, not even really promoting it, just putting it up, promoting it a little bit. So now I am on fire and I want to try to do that because there's a lot of great content on this channel. And I'm not just saying that, like this show, so much
Mhm.
to educate, elevate, entertain you. So I would love that. Like Leroy said, I'd be on my birthday crying.
Mhm.
But
So yeah, so
Leroy,
let's go.
I wouldn't want to do this show with nobody but you. We have a good time, and I know that I can always count on a laugh or a smile when we do this show.
Absolutely, this is fun. This is our fun time to be able to do this and just crack up and have a good time talking about what we enjoy, movies and music. I tell you, it really movies and music do it for me. That it's always a good time, you know.
Yep, always,
Yeah.
always, always. But thank you, Leroy. So what movie we doing next week?
We said that we want to do
Oh,
I'm gonna get you sucker.
yes,
Do we want to
yes,
do that one? Okay, so we'll
yes.
do go get you sucker.
That's going to be funny.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun tea. And we had, God rest her soul, Walona, Jeanette Dubois in that movie. You know, R.I.P. to her. It's so many different. It's so many.
Yes.
Huggy Bear. Oh yeah, I can't wait to talk about that. So y'all come on back next week to More Than Just a Movie, where Leroy and I break down classic Black film. Also, well, no, I'll talk about that later. All right, because y'all know I always got a message. But thank you everybody for tuning in to More Than Just a Movie. Leroy and I appreciate it so much for taking the time every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to come rock with us. We appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe. All right, Leroy.
Later, Gator.
Yes, remember you are a star, so don't allow anyone to dim your shine. Until next time, God bless. Peace.